too. Funny enough, we've just started filming on 11/11 when we're talking all spirituality. We've got our next guest, Suzie. I love Suzie. So Suzie is a female awakening coach. I've known Suzie for years. I've followed her journey, and we've been talking on our last episode about being in our feminine and dipping in and out with the masculine feminine. So we thought it'd be so good to have Suzie on. So welcome, Suzie.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm so excited. It's like chomping at the bit.
Nick is like, she's been like, I can't wait for this.
Oh my God.
I live so much in my masculine.
Yeah.
I really do need to switch it over.
Yeah.
But I think I just need a bit of guidance of how and what I'm doing, because it's easy enough to tell somebody, you're not doing it right, love, and you're in this and you're that.
Yeah.
But tell me how then.
So there's no right or wrong. We need the masculine. We're going to go into all of this and get deep into it so you can understand exactly what this is. My hands are going to go, the cries are going to come through, but I'm not. I am no longer hiding my multidimensionality. I am no longer defying my divinity. And when we come home to who we truly are, as simple as the goddess number is 13. So we are taught that that's bad luck. It's like, how dare they? How dare they? So everything around this feminine goddess energy is always like shamed, pushed down, made us to believe that it's wrong. The masculine has its place. We need the masculine structure for the feminine to soften. So many women are in their masculine force, hustle, they would get burnout, they'll be getting anxiety, overwhelm, all of the things, because they're in this force, this drive, this do. And I've got a friend who said to me, I'd love to be in my feminine like you, Suze, but I just don't feel safe enough.
Wow.
So it's about creating safety in our nervous system first. How can we soften when we don't feel safe? So first and foremost, it's about being trauma informed. It's about, and we're also never denying any of our lessons, any of our hurts, any of our wounds, any of our shadows, if we want to call them that, because so many people stuff it down, and that's where disease comes into the body, because it's dis-ease. So many women will have like fibromyalgia, all of these nervous system issues, because they're pushing down, they're suppressing, and it's about bringing that. This is an enemy soil. This is about bringing it into light, into our hearts. So someone who is truly in their heart is more powerful than 750,000 who aren't. But sometimes it's not safe to descend into our hearts. It's not safe for us to go there. So I had a client who's like, she's really successful, multi-millionaire, and we've been doing work together, and she's like, but I don't want to go into the heart. It's actually so brave and courageous to be in your feminine, because you have to feel it all, but it's about bringing it into life. So the work I do, people will call it Kundalini activation. It's above all of that.
I love Kundalini yoga. I got into a little bit of Kundalini last year, and wow, I was hugging people and I was going dizzy because I could feel their energy.
Yeah.
It was so like powerful, because your vagus nerve is it that kind of it activates.
Yeah.
And I'd go home and I was having, it's not a cry, what is it when you kind of, so
that's your life force moving through your body. So it's CAP, Kundalini activation process. I was obsessed with that for years because it was calling me home. Now, the only danger with the CAP process is it can be forced. So the work I do is very gentle. It's only, I mean, it might not be gentle. You've probably seen my videos online where it literally moves through women's bodies, and their bodies, the torsos get up, and it's their Kundalini healing any density, any wounds, any part of them that's not whole. So it can convulse through you when it's just clearing it all out. That's just your life force moving through you.
I had a full-blown because obviously it was straight after my mum, so all that grief was there, and I had a full-blown panic attack on the mat, and I was like, I couldn't breathe, and I was just like, oh my God, what is going on? And obviously when they calmed me down, they were just like, that is all trapped trauma in your body that needed to be released.
So powerful. Well, if we look at like animals in the wild, like we're so taught to the word fine, like it gives me the ick because people aren't fine.
Yeah.
People are suppressing, people are putting facades and masks on. But with this, if you watch an animal in the wild, if it's chased by a lion, say an antelope, and once it's got away from the lion, it literally shakes it off.
Yeah.
It releases the trauma. So this is a lot gentler, this process. So the thing with Kundalini or breath work, I am a breath work facilitator as well. And sometimes depending on what that person, if they've got an active mind, a lot of people who are very awake would be classed as having ADHD.
Yeah.
What it really is our attention dialed to higher dimensions. We're actually so multidimensional and multisensory. We're taking so much in. It's our flex, it's our gift, it's our superpower. But our brain can be taking too much in. So it's understanding that. So I might lead someone in with breath work just to calm the mind and create expansion to receive more. But the only thing is and I'm not demonizing this at all. Everything has its place and people must go with whatever they're called to.
I read a survey, not a survey, like a study, and that's what they was saying, like linking like highly spiritual people to ADHD.
Yeah,
it was
it's a
powerful.
flex, it's a gift.
Yeah.
I don't call it neurodiverse. It's neuromagical. We have so many gifts turned on. There are a lot of people, like my daughter, she's 26 now, but she's so neuromagical. But she gets everything. Neuromagical.
Wow.
We're just, because people we weren't born to fit into a box. We're the way showers. We are the cycle breakers, the light leaders. We're not supposed to live in a 3D paradigm. And that's where we do get in the masculine hustle. There's no performance. It's who we truly are. We all have our own unique codex.
Yeah.
No one has my codex. No one has your codex. No one has your codex. So through this work, we have like so many visions. So all of our clear senses are turned on, like clear cognizance, clear sentience, clear audience. Like you're probably into all of this. But it switches more and more of our soul gifts on because we're coming back home to our multidimensionality. We're no longer trying to fit into a box we've always lived above and beyond. But just going back to the breath work, so CAP, Kundalini activation process, sometimes can be seen as dangerous. So some people might have heard about the CAP process being dangerous, and the only way and shape that is sometimes if we're doing it through masculine force, through breath work or movement, we might not be ready for what's about to come through. So the way I do it is a lot more feminine.
Yeah.
It's a lot more of a feminine way of doing things. So I'm literally the conduit, the holder, the transmitter of the frequency, and you receive exactly what you're supposed to. But I'm not here to force anything. And this isn't a one quick fix. It's like you can experience. I went to Egypt in May on this priestess pilgrimage. It was a level 2 life force facilitator training. And my gosh, it was the most powerful. I'm feeling activated now. And when I say activated, it's a bit like you. Like people can feel warmth, they can feel tingles, they can feel full body convulsions. Light language might come out, criers. There was a lady that her criers started immediately and they started to come through. But everyone's journey is different and none of it is forced. It's exactly what they need in that moment. But when I went to Egypt, it's so coded in Egypt. There's so many codes in the pyramids are coming back online, and I know I sound batshit crazy, but this is my truth.
It's funny the thing is, while you're talking, I'm actually my chest is going tight. I'm about to cry.
Transmission. It's a transmission.
Did you not see? I thought you got to say you got cry.
Literally,
thought,
yeah,
no,
that's what's happening to me right now. I'm going tight chested, and I can feel something.
I'm so activated. Yeah, my life force is just running through me.
I'm gobsmacked, me.
But you know what I love about this type of work that's coming like out now is, obviously we went through the era of we've got to be boss bitches and bad bitches this, and it's like we've lost that divine feminine flow. Like our men aren't feeling divinely in the masculine, they're feeling demasculated. We've got women living in the masculine, and it's like, let's go back to flowing, because when we flow with each other's energy, we create so much more.
I know, and that's what I love about you, and I think this is why we've always vibed. Because for a lot of women, there's also the sister wound, and we, especially for the healers, for the light leaders, for the medicine women, for the women that are very spiritual, like back in the day, there's like, we do a lot of ancestral healing on my retreats and like in-person things, because we still carry that witch wound when we're fighting against other women, we're competing against each other. There's so much force. And there was a couple of women that came to my Spanish retreat and they still had that little wound, and there's never judgment here. It's always observation, because we're doing the best. Every single one of us is doing the best we can with what we've got. But I think with you and I, like, I obsess over other women. I girl crush on other women. I cheer other women on. There's no bringing other women down. There's no competition. But there was a lady that came to our retreat and she actually did a post that I shared to my stories yesterday. And she was like, to be fully seen, fully held, fully honoured, and no judgment.
It's beautiful to see people's vulnerability, I think. We live in a world of ego, and it's like, just drop into that vulnerability. You're so much more beautiful.
Yeah. It takes courage, though. Yeah. Vulnerability is so courageous, isn't it? And some women can't, and we ended up having the most beautiful bond. And she was like, when there's no edges or borders, we are all just one love. We are all soul fragments of one thing. And I always think, if somebody came down on our planet and went, look at one human race fighting each other. But then that's where we've got to be careful what we consume. The media, the news, like all of the things. It's fear focused to suppress us, to bring our frequency down. We're here to bring our frequency up, our light quotation, to expand our light quotation. A lot of people only have 2 strands of DNA activated. We want to take it up into 12. We want to activate more and more strands of DNA, upgrade us on a cellular level. Like, this is sheer magic. Like the things I experienced in Egypt, it's an energy, so it's ineffable. It's hard to put into words because it's beyond anything that the human mind can comprehend. But I went to one of the temples called Karnak. So I was originally facilitated and did my certifications. You can't certify energy, but did all of my priestess pilgrimage and level 2 through a lady who channels Heka. So that's the magic of the gods, and it's very ancient Egypt. So I went to ancient Egypt. We went into Karnak temple, which is Sekhmet's temple. Now, she's a very feminine goddess, but oh, does she mean business? She does not play around. We can be in our femininity. It's very courageous to be in your feminine flow without the masculine force.
But I think a lot of people think just because you're in your feminine, you become soft and you're weak and you can be walked over. But when you're in your feminine, you're actually quite empowering, because you've got your boundaries and you're just like, no, you're not going to do this to me. And you're courageous, but still soft.
Yeah, you can be. Your power doesn't have to be aggressive. Real power is quiet. It doesn't have to shout. It doesn't have to be seen. It doesn't tell you what it is. It just merely is. It just is. And then we come back into the sovereign authority. When we're in our higher self, it's sovereign embodiment and sovereign authority. And when you have become, and you've done all of this inner work to become as high frequency as possible, you're very aware of what you're available for and what you're not available for. And we live in a culture that teaches us self-love is selfish. No, we should all fill our own cups up first, because we're no good to our children, our partners, to anyone we work with if we're not okay. It's like on a plane. You've got to put your own oxygen mask on first, no matter if you're with your child or your most loved one. What use to you if you go under to anyone else? But it's about understanding what your boundaries are. What are you available for? What are you not available for? And I joke with it as well. We can still have fun. This is supposed to be. And just going back to the masculine hustle part, since I've gone into my feminine, of course I have the masculine structures. Of course I have websites. Of course I have links. Of course I have all of the things set up which we need to in business. But I get to play on a daily basis. I wake up every day and go, what do I need today? What would feel like fun today? What would feel like play today? And I fill my cup up with that. And this is my passion. I live for this. My friend said to me, was on holiday, and she's like, you're still working? I was like, this isn't work. This is, I do what I love. I have passion. This is just like breathing for me. It's effortless. It's fun. How can I play today? What can I do today? How can I make a difference today? And like what I do is called transmissions. So life force activations and transmissions. Everything's a transmission. This is a transmission. That all you were feeling before was resonance with the field of what I was speaking with your truth. That's a transmission. I might go to the post office and speak to someone and smile, and that's a transmission. And they'll go, oh, have a lovely day, and da-da-da-da-da. But as women, what do we need? So what do I need to be in my highest frequency? I don't drink alcohol. It lowers my frequency. I don't watch the news. It lowers my frequency. My current affairs are ridiculous. I just don't attach to that narrative. I just don't. It lowers my frequency. So it's like going to a buffet. If we went to a buffet and we're gluten intolerant, we wouldn't keep consuming gluten and then complaining about it. We choose, just as much as we choose our outfit, whatever we're going to wear today, choose your frequency. Like what frequency do I want to be in today? And what am I not available for to remain in that? It's a choice. Ready as well, like if we want to change something and we're like, oh, I don't know if I feel ready. Ready isn't a feeling, it's a decision. We've got to decide that we want to change something. It's not going to come and change for us. We have to choose differently.
It is, it's powerful, because I remember when I first got into yoga, and obviously I'd not really done much of the breath work. I could hardly even touch my toes. My whole body was just so traumatized. It was just so tight in my fascia. Then I started to do all like the trauma work. I started to do like a lot of breath work. And as it was releasing, because I held a lot in my hips.
You do, women. The womb space
that's
in our hips.
And literally now, because it's so released, I'm literally doing... I'm just so like, I'm like fluids.
I've been watching it. You're so like, you're loving it. I'm so there. I'm like, go, girl. And I love that.
A hand Saturday keeps the facelift away.
I know. But yeah, it's so true. When we do hold so much trauma around our womb space and our hips, and we're shamed so much around that area of ourselves, aren't we?
Where
like
is that
we birth souls into this world. Are you kidding me? It's like,
and we're shamed for that area, but like when it comes to like obviously sexual activity, women, it's healing energy. All that is healing. So everything should be quite soft and stuff. Whereas like kind of like, it's probably because we've got like all this negative around kind of sexual energy, and it's just shame that you just go into yourself, don't you?
But that sensuality is our superpower. And this is another thing that sometimes we are shamed into that of course they're going to shame it. It's our superpower. We are so potent and powerful. I did an online activation, not yesterday, the day before, with Sophie, and there was nearly 100 people live on it, 99, and there was like so much womb reclamation. How can we be in our feminine power when we aren't in touch with that area of ourselves, which is actually our superpower, our sensuality? There's so much distortion around it, so much shame, so much suppression. And like, it's our superpower. Like you just saying as well, like the movements that you can make, it's so important to create that. And I love yoga for that. Like a lot of the ladies that came on our retreat, one of them had just done a yoga training, and they did like a lot of movement because our bodies need that free flow. When I was in which it was Dendera temple in Egypt, we stood, so there's different goddesses. So there's Isis, Sekhmet, Hathor, there's all of these different goddesses that come through, but there was a death and rebirth chamber, and we were all in this death and rebirth chamber, and we stood over it. Now, I'm normally afraid of heights. It was so not health and safety. You could just fall down to the crypt, which was a couple of stories below, and there was just like a grid that wobbled and completely came off. But I stood on it, and we started and opened the field. I did. I'm 51 years of age, and I did a back flip.
Wow, you look unbelievable.
Standing up. I can't do it normally. I could not do the crab probably. Don't know if I've ever tried it. But it's as that life force moves through your body, and through the yoga, your life force is moving too. But it's about creating that feminine flow back in our bodies that are so restricted, so contracted because we're forced down, we're shamed. Like, I own all of who I am. There's no shame. It's mere distortion. So we've got so much programming, and it's being passed down. So I'm like, is it caught or is it taught?
Yeah.
So is it taught through conditioning, familial, societal conditioning, or is it passed down? So we had a day within the retreat, which was an ancestral healing day. Oh my gosh, it was so powerful. The women who had trauma trapped in their womb, their hip space, that they didn't even know they carried, and some of it wasn't their own.
Because it comes through the womb, doesn't it?
Of
So like there was
course.
a bit of ancestral trauma that kind of passed through my family, and I was carrying trauma that wasn't my own because I was in the womb, and it's just like you kind of, it comes
Carrying it
down and you
down.
just got to get rid of it.
Yeah, so we're the cycle breakers, aren't we?
We're the
it
cycle
ends with
breakers.
us.
But we were talking about one of my other friends, I bumped into her the other week, and she was like, because she loves Kundalini yoga as well, and she came up to me, she went, we need to find another Kundalini class. And I was like, why? And she was like, because she'd met then, she was so much in a feminine and met like the divine masculine.
Yeah.
When they come together, what is it called? It's not tantric or...
There is tantra, but you can
just
activate a man through your own Kundalini.
That's it,
so they
yeah.
can have their Kundalini awakening through you. I've got another story about Egypt, but I'll come back to that in a second, about awakening the masculine through your own Kundalini. But we want a divine masculine. How can we when we're not in our divine feminine? We're both trying to be the man. How can a man be in his divine masculine when we're trying to be the masculine? It's that dynamic, isn't it? That we need to soften into the feminine and tap into our own energy and allow that to awaken, to be in that divine feminine. But I don't want to interrupt your flow, so you carry on, because I was just but she met the man through.
Yeah. No, it was. So they come together and they both were probably on like the spiritual kind of finding themselves. And they were saying, obviously, when they did come together, that it was their energy that kind of connected, that made that situation
100%.
and like obviously
well, that's like the full, and that is the beauty that a lot of us are working
beautiful.
towards, meeting a man in his divine masculine, and he needs the feminine we need, like a woman in her feminine needs a divine masculine so she can fully soften into her feminine. So it takes, and it's not an alpha male as in the 3D alpha male who's like, I'm this, I'm that. It's quiet
so
strength
connected.
Yeah. But then, it's a huge awakening. So again, in Karnak Temple, I've got a Sekhmet necklace on here. So she's the lion goddess. Like, I vibe with her so much. Like, as I say, she means business. She does not play around. But she's also so loving and so kind. She was Hathor, and then she became her higher self as Sekhmet. But we went to Karnak Temple. We were allowed access into parts that we weren't normally allowed into. It was amazing. And then I was with my friends and we were looking around, and there was a guy, one of the guards was calling me, and she was like, no, Suze, don't go. It's not safe. But you can tell by energy it is. And I think just because I'm that little bit older, and also I'm from Liverpool, so we don't really.
She's a tough feminine.
So it's like, no, we're cool, we got this. So he calls us over to a part of the temple where no one else is, and he's like, shh, shh, shh. Be quiet, duck down. And he takes us to this part of the temple that's unseen. Now, there's 12 statues of Sekhmet around Karnak, but some of them are hidden. And he took me to this Sekhmet statue, and he's like, kneel down, touch her here, and then he put my head like on the side of her. And you say, like, I've had so many awakenings. I didn't think there was any of that left in me, but I was fully activated, like right through my body, like literally shaken, like fully activated, so coded, so many light codes still within. Like, we haven't got time on this podcast. Maybe I'll come back or we'll have a conversation and I'll explain more about light codes and how things are encoded in Egypt. It was not built by the slaves, but there's so many codes in those parts of different temples. And once I was fully activated, he said, could you touch me here and here? And I said, yeah. So I touched him there and there, and he was activated. So just going back to the Kundalini and the activation from a woman. So we are like the frequency. We are a channel of light. We are the conduit. And once the woman fully is integrated and embodied in that, we can awaken more. The light, the world needs our light. The world needs our healing. This isn't just for us, not for our children, not for our lineage. Like, if we are taught, I don't know if you know much about New Earth, Fifth Dimension,
because I think a lot of the listeners, they'll think that if they've never really heard of Kundalini yoga, they'll think it's like doing the downward dog and you're doing like the cobra poses. Kundalini is so different. It's like your ashtangas and your yin. It's all about energy work and your own body's like awakening your chakras and kind of really making sure that flows there. It's because I just went to a random class, didn't know what I was doing. I got into it after breath work, And I was just like, oh my God, what have I just been in? And everything activated. I'd be to the point where I'm so open with my energy and I didn't know how to close off energy that I was giving someone a cuddle. And if their energy was off, I was going dizzy and I was nearly collapsing because I just didn't know how to shut off the energy.
Yeah, I hear you. So we're actually launching. So we did our retreat in September, and because of the winter months, we're doing another one like February, March time. But for the women, and even the women from the retreat, like, I need to be more embodied in this. I want more. So we're starting next week with this, but there's a lot around energy protection, a 12th dimensional sovereign decree that you say daily. So you protect your energy, because this is part of the inner work. This is part of owning your sovereignty and closing that off. So this work is actually, you don't even do yoga. We just open the field, and through being the conduit, I will touch people you've probably seen on some of my stories. But if I sense, like you sense someone's energies off, I can sense where there's a block. So if I know it's in their womb space, or if it's like, sometimes we'll have lower back problems as women because there's no safety there. If I touch them there, it'll, like, you'll see like it shoot through women. We don't do anything. Sometimes there's no breath work. We just literally open the fields and start and touch.
Mine was my kidney. I used to have terrible back, my kidney, and I'd be like, I thought it was my kidney, but it was like my lower back kidney. And I was like, what is going on? Why have I got this?
So,
and then I got into breath work, and when we were releasing the trauma, that pain just went.
So that's where fear resides, in the kidneys. So there's all different parts of our body that mean different things. So like, a lot of people will get pain in their liver when we're doing the activation. That's where the higher self resides. So it's like, it's coming back online, it's coming back through, and the kidneys are associated with fear. That's where we hold fear. So there'll be all different parts of it where we hold different, fears or programming. And as I say, it's passed down. Like, if you are, and this is the thing, people who are spiritually curious, it's for a reason. People have joined either retreats or online trainings, and they're like, I don't know why I'm supposed to do this, or just now I am. And I'm like, well, just trust that. That's all you've got to trust. Resonance, we are so wise. And sometimes we get in our own heads, and that's where it blocks. But it's just letting go and like allowing who you truly are. It's all this is remembrance. It's not another modality. It's not something we actually do. It's something we become. It's sheer remembrance that comes back through our field. We actually have 7 subtle bodies, mental body being one, physical body. We have all of these different bodies, but it's about bringing them back online and raising our frequency. And with that, so much innate wisdom comes through, so much wisdom. Like, we realise, we start remembering all of these different things, but this isn't a modality. It's wisdom rising through the bones. And because you've felt what it feels like, you can like resonate with that. I think it's like, it's hard when you've never experienced it to put it into words. So I just say to people, you need to feel it.
Yeah, because when it was all trapped in me, like, it'd be there to come up, but then I'd start coughing and it'd come up, and I'd literally have these convulsions of coughing fits, and they were just like, just let it go. And my body was so tight with the trauma, I just wouldn't let go of it. And then they just worked me, and over like the months, it would just come up, and it was just
so beautiful. You've got to feel it to heal it. So it's like, it's got to come through you, or otherwise it's trapped, isn't it? It's like, we so often push things down. So we fully encourage, like on the retreats and on this online, for women to sound, hear your own voice, shout, scream, release, hear your voice, unlock your throat chakra. Because I think that's the other thing, we're taught to be quiet. We're taught, even as children, when children have a tantrum, that's our inbuilt release. Don't do that. What will people think? Stop that. No, you're making a noise. No, release that trauma. Release the emotion. I remember my daughter when she was younger, and I used to fully encourage that. She'd say, I want to scream, I want to shout. And we'd be in the car, and I'd go for it, babes. Hear your voice. Release it. But we're so contracted from such a young age. Be quiet, be good, don't make... Or if we cry, I go, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I go to people, what are you sorry for? Being real. Being real. like honouring like who we are. And we've got to feel it to heal it. But actually through this work, it's so potent and powerful. It collapses time. It's like a quantum leap. What might take somebody 3 years in traditional therapy, they can experience within 1 or 2 sessions, because it alchemizes it. It brings it into light. If we're saying someone in their heart is more powerful, which is a given fact, than 750,000 who aren't, if you bring, it's like a pinpoint to pain, although it feels so traumatic, into that solar heart.
Yeah.
So I'll talk about solar feminine, solar heart. It's our light quotation. Within Egypt, it's Ra, the sun god. That's sheer prana. We all need light to survive. It's about bringing our own light within ourselves. And people will go to me like, you're so emotional and resilient. And I'm like, not really. I just feel it and bring it into light and dissolve it. It's just, we all have the superpower. I'm no different to anyone else. I've just learned quickly how to alchemize it, and to feel it first, and to understand as well, life is never happening to us, it's for us. We all incarnated with a soul contract. If we say we want to be a strong woman, empowered, independent, we've got to have all the life lessons that make us into that woman. What's the medicine in it? What's the gold in each situation? And it's, somebody could say something to me, and I think once we've done the inner work and the healing, and we've like really dissolved those shadows and alchemized them and brought them into our light, into our solar heart, people can say nasty things to me, and that's just their opinion or I don't care anymore, not from like an egotistical point of view, but if it doesn't exist in me, it can't stick to me.
And they just hold on to that energy. So it's like, why would you want to hold on to that energy? Just let it go. That's just something that you're feeling inside and need to vocalize because you're feeling it about yourself.
Yeah, literally.
I always say, and it's the same as when like not letting go and of that trauma. I always say it just, if you don't let it go, it's going to breed into disease. So it's
massively.
I've always, after obviously when I went down my healing journey, everything I did was more like spiritual therapy than actual traditional therapy. And it worked better for me.
Yeah, it's coming home to you, isn't it? It's literally coming home to you, and it's just so, so powerful, so powerful. And like there's now, once you're awake, there's no spiritual bypassing, is there? There's no spiritual bypassing.
It's so interesting. It's funny because you go from different things. So obviously we go from like our breath work, because you mentioned quantum leap in there. Yeah. So that's what I'm working on at the moment. So I've gone from breath work to then I was working with like a spiritual coach for like therapy, talking about things, letting it go. And now I work with a quantum leap alchemist, and she's incredible. Like I said, we're going to get her on because Nick wants to meet her.
Oh my gosh, I love.
And you just kind of, as you open up, you kind of go to the next level. So now I'm ready to kind of quantum leap now and really elevate.
So this is so powerful. Now you've spoken about the quantum leap and quantum fields, I can open another little thing, but like I can only speak on things that people might resonate with. So this is literally, we're tapping into the quantum field here. This is about quantum entanglement. So it's like when I do these activations online, so joining our online temple, it starts next week. We've got a women from Finland, from the USA, from Mexico joining, all over the world. They will still have the same activations. The one on Tuesday, online, women were fully activated, cryers coming through, because it's quantum entanglement. It's all happening in the quantum field. It's non-linear.
It's magical.
So it is quantum leaping. Like I look at my life a year ago, and if someone said to me, you'll be holding retreats in Spain, online retreats, like one of the ladies that came to our retreat, there's also so much distortion and programming that comes up, and even I get imposter syndrome. So like the night before, one of the ladies, Rosie, who I love, like she's become a friend now, and she's coming onto our online training. She's a millionaire. She's got like this beautiful sound healing business. She sells sound bowls, and she came and she was so awakened, and she's coming into the online temple now. But there's still distortions that come up, because the night before I'm like, who am I? I'm just a girl that went to a comprehensive and grew up in like 2 dogs in height, and who am I to be doing this? Do you know what I mean? And you just know that that's a distortion. You just know that that's non-truth. So I just call it zooming out and do things that scare you.
Because the mind will always come. The mind's always the ego, isn't it? Coming to say, do you know what? You can't do that. And right, we've both read the book. what's it called again? The
Untethered
The
Soul.
Untethered Soul.
Oh, I've not read that one.
Oh,
Is it
it's
good?
beautiful, and that's all about dropping out of your head into the heart space, and that really changed my perception of things.
Yeah.
I was just like, so now I'll sit there, I'll go, am I feeling it from my heart, or am I feeling it from my head?
Exactly. Is
And
this
I'll go,
fear or
yeah,
truth? Yeah. And you just know your own truth, and like the magic that unfolded. We've got to be courageous to step into this. This is not for the faint-hearted, but it's a decision and a choice.
Yeah.
And like, Rosie it was so beautiful. And also, there's never any, and this is what I love when you're in true sovereign embodiment, there's never hierarchy, it's heterarchy, it's hierarchy. So there's no one being above the other one.
Yeah.
We're all just sovereign, empowered, divine women. Because at one point, she was like, I wanted to get up at one point and like begin to like facilitate. And I was like, do it! Like, do it! Let's all share this. Like, it's not like, this is my retreat, you sit down, we're the leaders with. No, do it. Let's all play together. Let's all do it. And then when you start to just, there's no edges, there's no borders, there's no boundaries. We're playing in the magic of all we are.
Yeah.
And there's so much power in that. There's so much power in it. And it's just coming back home to that. There's a book that you'll love just talking about books, and it'll explain a little bit around this. So it's called the Sophia Codes, and it'll speak all about the different goddesses and the codexes. It'll go into, so Sophia, Christ consciousness, is feminine Christ consciousness. So there's so many distortions out there in that it's all about male. In every single religion, it's all around male gods. There's nothing about the feminine. It's the suppression. There's so much suppressed around this feminine, and we are coming back online now. But the Sophia Codes explain so much. I love it. So each of the goddesses have their own codex. So we're all soul fractals of Sophia, Christ consciousness. Every divine feminine woman here is a soul fractal of her. So for example, Isis is Codex 1. So we all have our own codexes. We all came here with our own soul essence to do what we incarnated for. And it's been prophesized for so long, this actual time. Now, if we're talking about new earth, we're talking about new paradigm. We came here. We incarnated. We've waited many lifetimes for this moment to come back online and to wake so many people up.
You are seeing it. We were saying, wasn't it? At the moment, you can see so many people coming into like the spiritual kind of like curiosity, shall we say?
Yeah, I love spiritual curiosity.
I feel like I've been doing it now for like 6 years, just a self-development side of things for me. But it's always been a thing for me, hasn't it? That I struggle to live in my feminine energy. Yeah. So like it's always been, I don't know, it's always been something we've spoke about.
Because you got really upset on our first season, and it kind of come up for Nic, didn't it? And it was such a powerful moment to see her in that kind of soft, vulnerable side, because you always kind of hold on to it.
And I want to do it. And when I listen to you, I think, when I leave you and you can't leave without speaking to you or whatever. Yeah. But then I always found that something I can't really do that because, well, if I don't hustle and do this, that, and other, I've got 4 kids, I've got my house, and like, do you know, I'm constantly thinking, well, if I don't provide, who will?
Yeah, so you're in your survival of the masculine, and like, let's give you grace and honour.
I'm going to cry for him, sorry.
Yeah, no, that's okay. Like, I want to give you a massive hug. Give you grace and honour that you are having to be in the masculine to provide. You are a badass. Like, look at what you're doing for your kids. But there's duality. You get, I still have masculine aspects of me, or I couldn't have a business that runs the way it runs. We get to have both, but you've got to feel safe to be in your feminine. So like, not on here, because obviously it's very vulnerable, but I want to take you back to the points where you've had to be in your masculine. I want to take you back to your inner child, for all the parts of you that I can't wait to give you a hug. I'm dying to get up. I can't wait to just hold you until you feel safe, because we just go back and we just find those points that have put you into that survival. But honestly, there's so many women that have been in this hustle, that have been in the masculine because they've had to. Like, give yourself grace for that, but you still get to feel joy, pleasure, happiness. Like, pleasure's not just sensual. It's like the other day I stayed over, I was doing a job and I stayed over in a hotel, and I was like, I'm going to date myself today. I'm going to order myself room service, breakfast. I'm going to go out. And I know when you've got kids, you don't always have that time, but you've got this time now. Like, what can you do for you? How can you take care of you? Like, does your inner child feel safe?
I don't really know. It's not really something I've spoken about. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, we need to just
I've only
create.
really
It's
done-
probably not the time to do it here,
Yeah.
but we could create like a really. I also work with the blue lotus, which is, it's a flower of Kemet, ancient Egypt, and she has her own consciousness. It's like a plant medicine that's not going to be like mushrooms or psychedelics, but she does speak through us. So in my on my retreats, we actually drink her first. We do a blue lotus ceremony, and she's so powerful to all about parts of ourselves that don't feel safe. And it's just distortion, babe. Like, you are so safe, but everything is frequency. So when we start to move from a different frequency, like, people will just contact me online, I don't even know them, and they're like, oh, I want to work with you, and da-da-da-da-da. And I'm like, of course, that's a frequency thing. So it's like, if we want to listen to a certain radio station, we've got to dial into that frequency. So the minute it's a frequency shift, the minute we start to free ourselves of the distortions, you are so safe. It's just a distortion. Like, and you're so loving. Like, your kids are so lucky because they've got the masculine and the feminine. You do love, so you are in your feminine. Like, you do love. Like, you do love if you're in your heart space. You do love, but you're having to provide as well. So give yourself grace for that. And there's no right or wrong. There's no judgment. There's no shame here. It's not enemy soil. It's just going, oh, what raises my vibration and what lowers it? And what is enlightenment? It's just letting go of all density, everything that weighs us down. And we don't have to fear it. Like, it can just be dissolved and diluted and alchemized with ease. It's as easy as we allow it to be. But at some point, we make the decision to just let go of everything that weighs us down. But you know, every pain, and you'll probably agree with this, every pain is what activates us, is what initiates us, is what awakens us. Like, when you were speaking about your mum, like, I think back to the times in my life when I've been at the lowest of my low, and that's been my dark night of the soul. It's like, when there's nothing left, you've got to find something more.
I think it was my most breaking point, but also the start of the true me as well. Thanks, you kind of dealt this darkness, and then you think, okay, but what can I make light out of it? And
what's the medicine?
It was your journey beginning, that, wasn't it?
Yeah. And the same for you. Like, anything that feels like pain, like, if I ever feel resistance or if I ever go through a little bit of a mood, there's always contraction before expansion. So, and what's going on astrologically at the moment is wild. It's like wild. It's like a sacred washing machine. It's like, when does this cycle end? I want to get out. Like, it is wild at the moment. But I get off on the fact of contraction, or when we ride this wave, I'm like, whoa. Like, if we go low, we're going to go high. And this is the point that I think I started to open, and when I went off on another little riff, like ADHD, went off on another little riff. But I've got a client who is so powerful. She's very in the masculine, and she wants to start to raise her frequency, but she's afraid to go into her heart. And I'm like, you can't reach the highs without accessing the heart space. So we just need to clear up the density, the pain, the trauma, and to alchemize some of that. So it's all of that. So you can go into the heart space and you can reach the highs. And there's always a contraction point before the expansion point. So I actually get off on it because I'm like,
what's coming?
What's on the other side? Like, literally, I get off on it. But we must never feel like every single one of us carries either big T trauma or little T trauma. So big T trauma is like, you know, a death, abuse, like, you know, grief, rape, whatever that is, abuse, all of the different things. And then the little T are more like the things that we all experience in life, you know, like moving house, or, you know, like car, whatever. You know, it's like big T and little T. So we must never be ashamed of our trauma either. And we must never be afraid of it, because we can alchemize it into light. And it's like, at some point we just go, today is the day. It's not a feeling, it's a decision. And that's so powerful when you realise you're never going, because the ego consciousness will always cling to a familiar hell over an unfamiliar heaven. It'll always cling to that, won't it? Because it's like, we're naturally wired to fear change.
Yeah.
Naturally wired to fear change.
I hate change as well. It really unsettles me,
Does
change.
it?
And I'm like, oh.
It's because we like to be in control,
yeah.
isn't it?
Whereas I've kind of tried, that's one thing I've tried to work on now, is just that kind of just letting go, live in the present, what's going to happen. And I've been doing that lately, just each day. I can't change yesterday. I don't know what tomorrow, as not even guaranteed.
Yeah.
But just whatever today, just
100%.
enjoy.
None of it exists but this present
Yeah.
moment. Like, none of it exists but this present moment. But if we can hold sadness in our hearts, we can hold so much joy in our hearts. And I always say, my presence is my power. If we're never fully present, how are we enjoying anything? And I think that's how we get stuck in the chase thing of, the need for control. We hate change. I actually love change. I get itchy feet. I'm a weirdo. I get itchy feet when anything gets a bit too normal. I'm like, oh, like I moved around every 3 years because my partner was in the forces for 24. So we always had to move around. And I love that because it's the unknown. I love playing in the unseen because this is what we're doing when we're opening these fields, these living temples of light. We're going into the unseen. Like, I caught myself because I was like, oh, what we're going to chat about? And you were like, oh, we don't know.
Anything.
It'll just be anything. And I was like, brill. And it's just when I realise what's coming up for me, because the I don't like to say the wounded, but the unempowered masculine wants to always be in control. We can't always be in control. And then we go into the positive psychology, because I was originally into positive psychology. So the positive psychology aspect of things, in that we have this locus of control and an internal locus of control and an external locus of control. Is life happening to us or for us? So whatever we go through, we grow through. So it's always happening for me. So what's the lesson in this? Is this a repeating cycle of something that I am recycling over and over again, which is wounds or trauma? And then I say, how can I zoom out and oversee this? What's the medicine in this? What action could I take to maybe change this? What boundaries can I set to maybe stop this cycle? Because it's surrender to change or continue in the loop.
And on that note, Suzie, because that's a gorgeous note to finish on, if there's ladies out there now who are in that loop and are thinking, how do I just kind of surrender, go back, start this little journey, where can these ladies find you?
So I am Suzie Elizabeth on Instagram. So literally just I am Suzie Elizabeth on Instagram. There's loads on there. Drop me a message. Like, I love to chat to women. Like, I do take time off my phone now and I'm never present, but I just will literally sit in my office, light incense, have a little bit of Blue Lotus tea, delve in and just connect with women. But we always have a choice in everything. We always have a choice. Not changing as a decision, not changing as a choice, And it's like, what we're not changing, we're choosing. Make this the day that you just choose to change.
Thank you so much.